piece of lions where they did not harm him. And so Daniel was able to even get out of the lion's den. But there was nothing to fear, for God was with him. Another story, David and Goliath. Young David, teenager, really small in stature, goes up before the army and says, I'll face him. A giant, Goliath, who's believed to almost be 10 foot tall, is standing out there mocking the Israelites and calling them out. And David, this small stature man, says, I will face him, for there is not any fear. His God, our God, is with him. And another story, real quick, is Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. One of my favorite stories at growing up. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they would not bow down before this false god and worship it, because they knew that there was only one God, and that is the Lord of Lords, the King of Kings, and the God in heaven. And so they would not bow down before this God, and so they were cast into this fiery furnace that was even cranked up 10 times hotter than what it normally is. But they were cast in this fiery furnace, and what? It wasn't just Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in there, but it says that they appeared to be 4 people in there, for our God is with us. And in that moment, they were not engulfed in flames, and they were not even harmed, because in that moment, God was with them. We have nothing to fear. If our God is with us, we don't have to fear. We can face, we can conquer, and we can overcome persecution, ridicule. We can face and we can conquer and we can overcome death and sin. And we can face and we can conquer and overcome lions, giants, and an eternity of fire. We can face and we can conquer these things with the power of God. Church, we can face tomorrow. If our God is for us, who can stand against us? And the third thing and the final thing is we have David's exclamation, and then we have David's expectations, and now is David's exultation. And so the last half of verse 5 through verse 6, and I'm going to read the whole entire verse 5. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. David's exultation. My cup overflows. Exultation, it means a feeling of jubilation or rejoicing. And I want to focus on the word rejoicing, because I think that's maybe the one that we all can relate to or think of. But rejoicing, here we can see David rejoicing and praising God. We too can and need to be doing the same. Here we can see David worshiping, rejoicing, and praising God. We too can and need to be doing the same. Rejoicing in His mercy and His grace. In His mercy and in His grace. Mercy is God not giving us what we deserve. Grace is God giving us what we don't deserve. And we need to be worshiping, rejoicing, and praising Him for the amazing and beautiful mercy and grace that God has shown us. Because even though we were sinners, He died for us so that we can be saved. What a beautiful thing we can be worshiping and praising Him for. We also need to be rejoicing in His goodness and forgiveness. Our God is a just God. He cannot look upon, deal with, or condone sin. But yet, even as sinners, He provided a way through His Son that we may be saved and may be forgiven. Yet, while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Christ died for the ungodly. Even as a just God, His goodness, His mercy and His love, which we'll talk about in a second, but His goodness shows in the way that He has provided His one and only Son, Jesus Christ, so that we may be forgiven, which then opens up a way that we can praise, worship, and give thanks to Him for even forgiving a sinner like me. We need to be rejoicing in His love. What beautiful love God has shown us. Greater love hath no man to lay down his life for his friend. What beautiful love Christ has shown us on the cross. We need to be worshiping, rejoicing, and praising Him for His love. We need to be rejoicing in God. Our cup overflows with blessings. David says, my cup overflows. Our cup overflows with blessings from God. Let us rejoice and praise Him till the day that we are in eternity, worshiping and praising and rejoicing Him forever. I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. And until that day that we are in His presence, in eternity, worshiping and praising Him, we need to be doing the same here. Worshiping, praising, and rejoicing in Him, making His name known, and being obedient to what He has called us to do. David's exclamation, the Lord is my shepherd. David's expectations, I shall not want, and I will not fear. David's exultation, my cup overflows. God is our shepherd, guiding, directing, and protecting us. He provides for our needs, and He gives us strength and peace to not fear. He is worthy of all praise and rejoicing in His name. And if you have not submitted and surrendered your life to God, now is the time to call on the shepherd. If you are a Christian saved by grace through faith, now is the time to seek God and how we can be more trusting, how we can be more obedient and less fearful. Now is the time to see how you can better serve Him. But let us seek Him. Let us submit to Him, for He is our shepherd. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, Lord, I want to thank You